What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. We are here with a brand new episode as we're going to be talking about The Naked Gun, the 2025 legacy sequel of it, as this is the fourth one in the series. And as we know, this had been apparently in development hell for years, but we finally got it with Liam Neeson. So let's talk about it. And as always, I am your host, Brandon, joined by my co host, Marin. So let's get into it.
Get into it.
Yep. So, The Naked Gun.
Movie, The Naked Gun. It is a soft reboot slash remake slash homage to the original Naked Gun, which was released in 1990, I believe.
Mm,
Do you remember?
1980, 1988.
1988. Wow, so I was way off.
Yeah, 10 years before me. But with this film, it follows the son of Lieutenant Frank Drebin Jr., as he must succeed in his father's footsteps to prevent the closure of a police squad, as there's just a lot of crazy shit going on. And I do want to say, with the cast, I do think that the cast is great for the most part. Liam Neeson, he was perfect to pretty much take over the role, take over the franchise, as he just has that kind of like that deadpan face, but yet he is hilarious throughout it.
I mean, yeah. What was the name of the other actor that played him in the originals?
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen. Okay.
Leslie
I
Nielsen.
don't think he's as good as him. Of course, that
Yeah, no.
guy's irreplaceable.
Like with Leslie
But
Nielsen.
you don't need to compare the two.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love Liam Neeson.
Yeah. I would
And
just say
the way he plays the straight man, he's awesome. He's awesome at it.
I would just say with Leslie Nielsen, he is one of the funniest guys in Hollywood. Like, a movie could be bad, but yet he is going to be the best part of it because you're just going to be laughing and all that. But like with this film, like it is like a perfect homage to those films. Like I said, we see Liam Neeson play pretty much Leslie Nielsen's son in this, Frank Drebin Jr. being Frank Drebin Jr. And it's like he is just like his dad in this film. He is like just like
Yep.
the characters are very similar.
Pure Frank Durbin. Is it Durbin?
Drebin.
Pure Frank Durbin Jr. or original energy. He just hit it on the nail.
Yeah. And like now the
I love
cast.
a lot of the gags. There's a lot of gags in this film. A lot of prop gags that which they had a lot back in the day in the older movies too.
But like with the cast, I do think that they were perfect additions to it. From Pamela Anderson playing the love interest as he played Beth Davenport, like she had great chemistry with Liam Neeson, and they are now dating in real life. So
That's
good for
crazy.
them. But like I just thought that like just how like her and Liam Neeson, they kind of just how they portrayed themselves was just pretty hilarious. Like they're like doing all this wacky shit, but yet they're being serious about it. And just Paul Walter Hauser playing Captain Ed Hawkins Jr. That was just another hilarious. Like I thought he was hilarious in the film. Like no, playing like now being the son of who played the original of Ed Hawkins Sr. I guess in the first few films. I thought he was like a good choice to like I guess take over the role. And then we had not Nordberg Jr. Even though he has like a small role in this, Nordberg was O.J. Simpson's character in the original one. So it's like just that one scene where we see this in the trailer where it's like they're crying over like photos of their dads, and we just see Nordberg Jr. like be like, "Nope." That was pretty hilarious. Like those are my thoughts on the cast, but Marin, what are your thoughts on like the rest of the cast? Like pretty much just the casting in general.
I guess we could get into spoilers. I don't think anybody's gonna care
Yeah,
about spoilers for this movie.
we'll get
So
into spoilers.
my favorite cast member was of course Batista,
Well, he
which
had a
isn't really a
cameo.
spoiler, but he has a very very strong cameo towards the end of the movie. Everybody they knew what kind of movie they were doing. Everybody was just playing There wasn't any characters I thought were wacky. I guess
Mm-hmm.
everybody tried to play a
Yeah.
straight person, which is like what I think the Naked Gun movies are.
Yeah,
Like
we're
people
like
use
they are like being like it's like they're trying to be
serious.
serious and while everything around them is just wacky as shit. Wacky as hell.
Yeah,
So I think how
yeah.
like
Uh,
I love how
I
that's
love that.
continued on with this one.
Very. It's like a spoof on like
Mm-hmm.
detective movies and noir, and which is cool. I'm glad we had a movie in 2025, a spoof movie coming to
Yeah.
theaters, which we haven't seen in theaters, like a spoof movie in theaters in like forever.
Yeah, I
It's been
agree.
what, since
It's
the
been a
Haunted
while.
House is the last one. The
It's
last one I remember is Haunted House by the Wayne brothers. Haunted House 2, I think,
yeah, it's been a
was like the
while.
last big spoof movie. It's been a while, so hopefully this is
Yeah.
I don't know if it did any numbers in the box office, but I'm hoping
Yeah. Like
we
with
get more of that.
like with this movie, it was developed by Seth MacFarlane. He was a producer for it. And like when he got brought on board in 2021, January 2021. That was when it was announced, and he was right away like, "I want Liam Neeson in this." But before that, there was originally going to be a Naked Gun 4 that was supposed to be like a straight to TV thing, but shit happened. I think they didn't want to bring back Leslie Nielsen because of budget and all that. So whoever was directing that left the project. And then unfortunately, Leslie Nielsen, he sadly passed away. And then like several years after that, in like I think 2013, they were gonna like reboot the franchise with Ed Helms, where he was supposed to play the role of Frank Drebin, but it would have been different, I guess. I'm not entirely sure, but I have to be
You said
honest.
Ed Helms?
Ed Helms, yes, the guy from The
He's like a
Hangover.
black comedian, right?
The
Oh
guy.
no.
The,
Oh,
Jesus, Marin.
you don't. I thought he was a black. There's a black comedian, I think, with that around the same.
I don't know, but thankfully
He's the
that
guy
film.
from The Office as well. Then
Yeah, I think so. He's in The Hangover. I know
okay,
that. But with Ed Helms in the role, I can't see that. Like he is funny, but like I don't know. I just cannot see that happen. And thankfully, years later, we get Seth MacFarlane developing the project, and we all know Seth MacFarlane. He is a comedic genius, especially without like the
yeah,
10
I
movies
feel he
are.
does good with
Hmm.
he's Stephen Fardin does good with a lot of slapstick
Yeah.
comedy, like we've seen with his it wasn't a big success, but I liked it, the 1 Million Ways to Die in the Old
Yeah.
West,
That was a funny one.
or the Ted series,
And
or
that
the Ted
movie,
movies,
and A Million Ways to Die
both
in
of
the Old
them.
West, that had Liam Neeson in it too. So
Yeah.
like even though
So
we
the
see
Ted.
yeah, even though we see like those two films have like a little bit of Liam Neeson's comedy, I am glad that with this one you could just see more of that comedy. Like he is a hilarious actor, and like
Yeah.
he portrayed the comedy aspects of this very well, and it worked perfectly well. Like he was definitely like just
Do you know if there
a
was any
huge standout.
backlash towards Steph MacFarlane producing this? I know a lot of people don't really like him nowadays. I don't know why.
No, I haven't
No,
seen anything.
because I think he's probably perfect. One of the people best to help with the remake of this type of series, because he's known for his slapstick and his puns. I mean, you look at the Family Guy series; it's all like just cutaway gags. Not to say that's like always a good
Yeah,
thing, or it's great, but for this type of movie, I think it works.
yeah, it works, and like I remember reading about like how they filmed such test footage of Liam Neeson just talking shit to the studio, talking shit to Paramount, like just talking shit, trying to get them to like, hey, you better fucking greenlight this, you fuckheads, some shit like that. As in character talking shit, like breaking the fourth wall talking shit. I'm saying talking shit a lot, but we see that, and the studio finally greenlit it because this was in works for a while. And like I remember like reading about how Liam Neeson, geez, they both names kind of sound similar, but with Liam
Yeah,
Neeson, like he was like excited to take on the role. Like this was pretty much a different role that we've seen from him, as he's mostly in in films, trying to hunt down the people who take his daughter and stuff. So it was just kind of like refreshing to see him in a action comedy for once.
And it was also good to see Pamela Anderson in the back in the screen. I haven't seen her in years. She doesn't look, too bad for her age.
Yeah, yeah.
I did get a little shocked when I saw her. Like, what? She looks way older than I remember her.
Yeah, she is 58 years
She's
old and she is still great. Last movie I saw her in was The Last Showgirl, and that was a great
is it
movie.
good?
She did great in that. This was earlier this
I
year,
think
I
the last
believe.
one I seen her in was I used to see her a lot in the. I guess she was known for Baywatch. I
Yeah,
remember seeing clips of her in Baywatch.
yeah. She was known for Baywatch, and she had a cameo in that Baywatch movie with The Rock.
Did she?
But like,
I know her for other reasons, and I'm sure we all
and
growing up around the time we did know why. But she's
she was
a
in
good actress from what I've heard.
Borat.
She's in Borat.
She was in the first Borat movie as the reason, as
Oh
you remember, he was
yes,
wanting to marry
yeah, okay,
her, and she knew about that. She was in on the joke for that.
yeah. I remember, yeah, but like people around her didn't know she was in the joke.
Apparently, it pissed off her then husband, Kid Rock.
She's married a lot of rock and roll stars, so I'm glad she's settling down
Yeah,
with a detective. Nice,
I'm glad
a
she's
nice
with Liam
detective.
Liam Neeson. They seem to be great together. And what I love about this film is one thing is that like in the previous films, Weird Al Yankovic, he had a cameo in all of them pretty much. Either it was as himself or I think in one of them he was a bartender. So it was just super cool to see how this film continued with that cameo. And still with this film there's still like a lot of like homages to the original ones, is how the original ones would be, like we mentioned before, how they're trying to be serious as everything around them is just wacky, or they're like unintentionally doing all this batshit crazy stuff. But also we do just see just a lot of spoofs, a lot of gags, there's a lot of hilarious moments. Especially, well, since we're into spoilers, especially with that snowman scene.
The snowman scene, yes,
Yes.
that was a funny scene.
So random, but yet it worked perfectly well for this film. It was
It did take me out a little
hilarious.
bit of the movie. I'm not gonna lie, but
Yeah,
you know,
like
it was. I guess that's what the movie. I don't know. That's what movies are. Those movies are.
at
You were
first,
telling me earlier that a lot of the older movies have stuff like that too.
yeah, definitely. Like, just I feel like with the original films, they were a bit more wackier, a bit more goofier, on like a bit more over the top. So with this one,
Do
I
you
have to
think that
say,
has a lot to do with the era it came out? Sorry, with the
maybe.
era it came out because in the '90s you can get away with a lot more stuff than nowadays. I think.
Well, maybe. Like, I'm not gonna lie. There's some humor in those films that might not land well now.
Hmm.
But like with, so I got to say with this film, I do wish that there was a bit more, like a bit more of those goofs, a bit more of those gags, a bit more of that wackiness that we've seen in the original, especially like with some of the villains. Like we see the villains be serious, and then all of a sudden they will die the most hilarious deaths. I was hoping we would see that with this. Even though like that
Do you
scene,
remember?
even though the
I'm
final
trying to come
scene
up the
hmm,
the name of the actor that played the villain or
in
the name of the
this,
villain.
Danny Hudson,
Yes.
like
Okay.
remember him from X-Men Origins Wolverine. He was in the Wonder Woman movie. He's a villain in a lot of movies. Like he like the stereotypical
He
villain,
looks
but yeah,
familiar.
yeah.
He looks very familiar. I liked when he moved his car.
That was hilarious. But I do think like he was a perfect villain for this film. Even though in most films he is just a stereotypical villain, in this film he was a pretty good villain. Like it worked for how this film is. And like one scene, apparently like they had like this scene planned, was where we were supposed to see the snowman come back, I guess by the end of the film, but it never happened. I don't know if they filmed it or what, but that would have been hilarious to see. This
I think you were telling me that he fought. keep the scene in,
Yeah, I
supposedly.
think apparently they wanted to cut it out, but they were like, yeah, no, we are not cutting this out. And like, there was just some stuff also with this movie. It was like, I guess some stuff that don't really make sense because like in the third film that was released, I believe in 1994, that was when we see Frank Drebin Jr. be born. All of a sudden, to be played by a 73-year-old Liam Neeson.
Which I was reading that he is 5 years older. Let me see. Liam Nielsen was 72 years old at the time of filming, 5 years older than Leslie Nielsen when he made his final film appearance as Frank Durbin.
Yeah, it's crazy, but like
I mean, it
it
works for this type of
works.
movie.
Yeah, with how random and wacky these movies are, I think it works. Like, because in the
Just
original films,
I like seeing him just saying like "Thank you, Dad," and in my head I'm saying him an old seeing Liam Nielsen with his age saying "Thank you" to a Leslie Nelson, which is so funny to me.
it was like there were some nice
See, yeah,
callbacks
it's
too. We
awesome.
do see in a brief cameo, we do see Priscilla Presley, Elvis Presley's ex-wife, because he played the love interest for Leslie Nielsen's Frank Drebin in the original films. So she's pretty much Liam Neeson's mom. We do see her briefly, and like when like in the scene where like he is upside down with his pants down, trying to get the bomb or trying to get that device.
Yes, at the UFC fight.
I do wish she had a bit more of just a little bit more of a cameo instead of like a brief oh there she is type scene. Because I like because we see him like talking about his dad a lot. It would have been funny to just see him like talk about his like just going to his mom for advice or something. I feel like that could have been a hilarious scene.
I think those UFC fighters are real fighters. I know one of them look like Justin Gaethje, which I know him. I'm looking at Justin Gaethje,
Yeah,
and I
and
think the other one here
Kam
says
Kamaru Usman.
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 Justin Gaethje, I do know him. I remember
Okay.
seeing his fights with he had fought Khabib on his retirement fight, I think, which is a good fight. The commentator
That's
that
hilarious.
was talking about his wife, that was like that got me saying, "My wife, what was it like?
He finds
My
it very
wife told me
relatable.
she'll be out or something like that." I don't know.
You find it very relatable.
Anyways, you got it was funny. Who me?
Yeah, you.
No, I don't got a wife. Single.
What? But yeah,
No.
like I mentioned before, I do think that this film could have had just gone through more wackier moments, more wackier stuff.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
But yet, I have to say that this was one of the most. This is probably the most hilarious film of the year.
Oh, okay. I still think Weapons is pretty funny.
I don't know
Weapons is I laughed more in Weapons than I did in the Naked Gun. Naked Gun I liked for its
because
visual comedy, and I like that type
yeah,
of the comedy, but
but like what you said, it's been years since we pretty much gotten like a spoof film, and with
yeah,
this one,
right.
it was in development hell for years with Ed Helms. And now, like I mentioned, thankfully, Seth MacFarlane, he took it over and did what he did with it, and we got this. And with that, I would love to see more Naked Gun movies. I want to
I'm
see
sure they'll be down for it.
I want to see a trilogy with Liam Neeson, Frank Drebin Jr. in the main role. I would like to see more of like not Nordberg Jr. take a bit more of a bigger role because it's
Yeah.
like with the original films,
Was
like
he Mole Man in the Fantastic Four?
Paul Walter Hauser as Captain Ed Hawkins Jr. Yes,
Yeah.
he was
He's
Mole
Mole
Man.
Man, right?
Yes,
That's funny. Crazy.
like in the original ones, though, it was no Frank Drebin, Captain
Right.
Ed Hawken, and Nordberg. I like they were kind of like the main trio, even though like they kind
Can
of had
you
like
tell me
secondary
who played
roles.
each? Because I don't know their names like that. I know the first one, Frank Drebin, was played by Leslie Nelson.
Yeah.
Which one was played by
Okay.
OJ?
Captain Ed Hawken was played by George Kennedy, and Nordberg was O.J. Simpson.
OJ.
So we know why the guy
Funny.
was looking at, like, taking his head at the camera after looking at
Yeah,
the
no.
photo. But like
Yeah.
I don't know, like, because in the first film, like, the two of them kind of had like secondary roles,
Right.
like lesser roles, and but in the second film they had bigger roles in the second film, so it was hilarious to see them alongside Leslie Nielsen throughout that film. Like, I thought the three of they were like a good hilarious trio. But in the third film, like, they had their roles reduced once more. So I think, like, if they were to make a sequel for this, it would be cool to see more of Ed Hawkins Jr. Even though I do think that he had like a pretty good sized role, but at the same time, I think it'll be hilarious to see them do a bit more with not Nordberg's son.
I'm glad that yeah, I'm glad they I don't know what I mean, I'm not a writer, but those ideas for the sequel would be great. I would like to see them maybe attack AI. I know
Yeah,
everybody's
that
doing it
would be
now, but
hilarious.
that would be funny. Maybe like an AI movie about them like trying to discover AI or whatever. Because they do implement a lot of like newer technology in this movie
Yeah,
with the electric cars, with the I don't know, UFC. We didn't have that before in those movies. With the
yeah.
I guess the electric cars only was a good thing,
With
but
Batista's cameo,
Batista's cameo.
that was still hilarious. Then he
Quick
just starts getting attacked. Ah, I'm an
I'm not
actor.
even in this movie. I didn't know he was Liam Neeson was that tall, man. He's a tall. He's like
He
as tall as
is he is
Batista.
super tall. He is a super tall guy with a
He moves
with
like
a
he moves
very
so like
with a set of skills too.
oh whatever. What I thought I'm kind of glad they did it, but I thought they would have done something with either him or another character saying that to him, saying, "I want you to know that I have a set of skills." Blah, blah. But I'm sure they thought
I
that was really overplayed.
He probably said no.
Yeah, I'm sure they brought it up, but he's like, "No, that's too overplayed. Everybody
Yeah,
does it."
yeah. I'm pretty sure
The
Seth.
opening weekend for this film, it says here online, was debuted with 16.8 million opening, ranking number third in the box office, behind Fantastic Four and The Bad Guys 2. So I don't know what was the budget for the movie, but it says
The
it made about
budget was
16.8.
42 million, and right now it seems to have 73 million.
So it made its money back. It didn't double it,
Yeah,
which in
unfortunately,
this
but
business,
it's
you're
still
supposed to double to be a profit.
it's
It
still
still has a couple weeks.
yeah, it's still in theaters though, so it could go up more. And like I mentioned, this is probably the most funniest movie of the year that is an actual comedy and not a horror
Is this
film
Paramount?
errand. But yes, this
Is
is
this
Paramount.
Paramount?
This is Paramount.
So it probably will be ended up in Paramount Plus.
But like, as I'm thinking about it with the villain though, like with Danny
Yeah.
Huston's character, we see how he is creating created these cars, these electric cars. So it's in a way, it's like, wait, is he supposed to be a parody of Elon?
So a tech billionaire, but
Yeah, tech
he did
billionaire.
give me a little bit of Elon vibes.
Like, at first, I didn't come in mind. I guess I was just enjoying the movie, not thinking about anything, because with this film, it's one of those comedies you could just shut your brain and just have a fun laugh. But like, now, as we're talking about the movie, talking about the character, it's just like, wait a minute, that's fucking Elon.
I think it's just in today's society we see every rich billionaire is Elon. Like back maybe like a couple years ago before Elon, we were seeing every billionaire in comic books and in the movies. We compared it to Jeff Bezos. I
Yeah,
remember when that was going around.
people still
But
compare
yes,
Lex Luthor
I'm sure
to
it
Jeff
was.
Bezos.
He looks just like him, dude.
They're bald. That's why. Like you.
And you seen how he laughs? Yeah, new haircut, guys.
Yeah, look at that hairline.
Brandon's jealous. Hey, put your forehead back.
He got that scar hairline, Hulkster
Hey,
hairline.
pull your forehead back,
It's
Brandon.
not like yours.
Let's see the mirrors, boy.
But like, yeah, with how this film, like with this film though, like with the villains, it's very interesting. Like they're probably some of the most, like at least one of them, Kevin Durant's character, who was like the secondary villain, he felt more serious, and that's kind of like how the villains were in the franchise. They were kind of like a bit more serious, and then when Frank Drebin would talk to them, like he would be like he is trying to be serious, but yeah, there's just a lot of accidents happening. And we do
Right.
see that continue with this film. And like we see Frank and we see Kevin Durant being like this, I would say this more of a serious villain compared to Danny Huston's character. It's like that one scene in the end where like him and Liam Neeson go to fight and Liam Neeson punches him. He's like, I don't think I could do this. And Liam Neeson's like, what? Have you not been in a fight? That was just
No, yeah, that was funny.
like I said, that was funny, but I do wish there was like a wacky death for the character, like how we seen with the antagonists in the other films. As I believe in the first film, we see the antagonist fall off a balcony from a stadium onto the street, and we just see him get run over, like walked over by a marching band at first, and then we see him get like steamed over by one of those roll steamers, and there's a whole bunch of stuff, and they're watching. They're like, "Oh, he's not dead. Oh, wait, no, now he is." And I don't really remember the how it was for the second one, but I remember for the third one, like the guy, like there's like an explosion, and the guy goes flying up into the like into a helicopter, and then the helicopter blows up or something like that, and it was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, I haven't really seen the older ones,
They
but
are classics. I recommend to watch them for sure. Like the third one is the worst one in my opinion, but yet it is still pretty funny.
interesting.
Yep.
So, I guess to wrap it up, because we don't really have much to say about this movie. But Brandon, what would you rate, or what would you give to this movie? Recommend to watch it in theaters? What do you
I
think?
if you could
Final thoughts.
if you could watch this in theaters, I recommend it. Like there's probably not like a lot of people in theaters watching it now because when I watched it in theaters, the whole theater was laughing their asses off. We were all laughing our asses off, and it was.
You went opening night?
I went that Saturday. It opened with my parents
Okay, okay.
because my dad was wanting to watch it. He loved the original ones, and
What did he think about it?
hmm?
What did your father think about it?
He liked it. He liked the original ones more, but yeah, he thought that this one
Yeah,
was just as good as that, and I agree. And for me, like
good.
my ranking of this one, including the original ones, and last place would be the third one. Like I wasn't really too like the third one for me. It was not the best. Like some of the jokes didn't land well, but at the same time, it was still funny. The story wasn't the best, but yet it was still funny, especially because of Leslie Nielsen. Like I said, a movie might not be the best, but yet he is going to be the best part of it because of his comedy. And then number three, I am giving it to this one. Like I do think that this was a great legacy sequel. Kind of like I don't want to say soft reboot, but this was a great legacy sequel that like continued on with that wackiness. And this is the funniest film of the year. I do wish it was more.
Okay.
I do wish it was more wackier. I do wish it was like. I do think it could have had more, but it was still a hilarious movie. And then at number two is the second Naked Gun film, The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear. Like there's a romance scene in that I call probably the most hilarious romance scene in film. And we do get more of Leslie Nielsen, Priscilla Presley, and their roles. They have great chemistry with one another. They're hilarious with one another. And with that film, I liked how we got more of the Captain Ed Hawken and more of Nordberg. Along like we see more of like them being a trio with Frank. and I thought that worked very well. But at number one, it's the original one. Like, I just think that was just hilarious. There was just a lot of like memorable, hilarious scenes in that, and it worked. But fun fact about the Naked Gun franchise, it actually originally started off as a TV series that was broadcast on ABC in 1982 that was called Police Squad, which had Leslie Nielsen, but it got
I did not know that.
yeah, I never watched it. It should might be online somewhere, but I heard about it before watching the movies. And like it was set, I believe it was the same, having all these gags and all that, but it was pretty much like it sadly got canceled after 6 episodes. And when they decided to make the movies, I believe Leslie Nielsen was the only one in the cast that got carried over from the show to the movies, as everyone else got recast, I think. But like that being a series, I don't know why they canceled it. But yeah, that would be
Maybe
my
just getting a lot of views at the time.
probably, probably. But yeah, that would be my ranking of it. And with this film, I go at an 8.5 out of 10 just because of, like I said, like it is a funny one that I do think could have had more wackiness, more of that over the top humor that we seen in the original ones, but yet it was still
Hmm.
a hilarious film. And it was like, I doubt a lot of people are watching this now in theaters, unfortunately, but like when I watched it, it was just packed. It was a packed theater, and we're all laughing our butts off, and it was fun. It was a fun experience. I even got a poster of it.
Yeah, I did too. Pull my finger.
Yeah, the same one. But Marin,
Funny.
what are your final thoughts on this film?
Final thoughts on the film. Love the film. I thought it was funny. Well, love is a strong word. I like the film a lot. Would I recommend you guys go watch it in theaters? Yeah, if you have the time, if you have the space. It's always good to support, these movies that are struggling to be made. Not, of course, these guys aren't struggling to make money. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about this type of movies. If you like comedies, if you like slapstick, if you just don't want the movie theaters to be overrun by just big blockbusters. If you like small budget movies, and I obviously come and support this. Uh, everybody did a great job. I'm gonna give this movie a. Let me see here. I'm gonna give this movie a good. Hold up, where is it at?
Bum 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 bum
Bum,
bum
bum,
bum.
bum, bum. It did not save. I'm gonna give this movie
Are
a.
you on Letterbox?
No, I'm not on
I was
Letterbox.
gonna say if you are, Letterbox is having problems lately.
Okay, so if I had to say what I would give this movie, I would give this movie a 3 tacos out of 5.
What would you say is your favorite scene, though? What would you say is your favorite scene in the movie?
Good question.
Because there was a lot of
My
hilarious
favorite
scenes in
scene.
this.
Good question. My favorite scene in this movie, Naked Gun 2025, would have to be the scene where Liam Neeson character, Frank Durbin Jr., is driving down the road. Well, he's not driving technically, he's being driven to the ocean, and he finally gets his windshield open. He breaks it down, and then all these things just keep getting in bees, balloons, and then another windshield. I thought that was funny. I think that was my where I burst out laughing the
Then
most.
the new windshield gets put on the car. It's like, what the?
Yeah, that was pretty funny. How about you, Brandon?
My favorite scene. I was originally gonna say the snowman scene, like that whole love montage, but I think I gotta go with like when he is trying to like get the device from from the
Oh,
balls,
yeah,
and like his pants drops, and like everyone's just gasping, like,
that was funny.
that was. I think that one's the most hilarious one out of the movie. Yeah, like, but there's, oh, of course, no, this the scene that you mentioned, and like there was the snowman scene, and we do see Pamela Anderson nail it at scat singing, which apparently she was yeah, she was able to do that. She's been a like that's a talent of hers, and when she told the director that she can do that, they pretty much gave her the
Do
role.
jazz sing?
Scat singing, like when we see her in like the
Oh,
jazz
scat
club,
singing.
like start taking the microphone and like start doing that type of singing.
That was funny.
It was at I don't, but then like I do love the beginning of this, like how like it seems like it's going to be like a super serious heist moment, and then this
Right.
no, we see the little girl come in, take off like her mask, and it turns out to be Frank Drebin Jr. I want your ass. Boom.
It's funny.
Then like no, with the action in this, it does seem to be some of the easiest action work that Liam Neeson did in a long time.
I'm sure he had a blast filming this. He's not getting any younger too,
No,
so I'm sure that's why he also wanted to do something a little bit easier.
I
But
remember he mentioned that he does believe that this could be a one-off, but I've read that they are having discussions for a sequel. Like, if this is a one-off, then okay, but I do want more from this. I do think they could continue making this, make them more hilarious each time, more wackier each time. Just do more with this franchise. Like, we need more films like this in theaters, honestly. Because
I agree.
now it's like with the spoof films, with the parody films, it feels like they're just going straight to streaming or
Streaming.
straight to DVD. Like the last parody film I could think of, yeah, I think it was A Haunted House 2 was one of the last ones that I remember that was released in theaters, like you mentioned.
Well, we have Scary Movie 6, I believe, or 7
I
coming
do
coming to
believe that
theater
would be
soon.
a good one for spoofs. Hopefully, with the Way In brothers coming back for that one.
And news that
Yeah,
Lana Fair, the two chicks.
Anna Faris, and I believe Regina Hall.
Yeah, they're both coming back. That's her name. Yeah,
Yep, I am
they
glad.
need to bring back Marin Hernandez.
Yeah, they should give us roles in that. We will be happily be the ones that die, but still, give us some acting
I would let
credits.
I'll let Anna Faris poop on me,
What?
like Chris Pratt, like the movie 23,
Movie 43?
movie 43, whatever. That was another spoof movie that went to theaters, and it shouldn't have.
No, my gosh. A lot of actors were tricked into that movie. Tricked into doing that movie, or like they were
I
guilt
do
tripped
like
into doing that movie.
I do have like one of my favorite scenes in any comedy movie is from that movie is when Wolverine is over there scratching his balls and he sniffs it.
Gosh.
I
Yeah,
thought that
he
was the
has
funniest shit ever.
bald sin in that. It was. I do not recommend that movie at all. That is one of the worst movies I have seen. I do not recommend
Anyways,
it. But anyways, yeah, we talked enough about. Well, we talked about what we wanted to with the Naked Gun. It was a hilarious film, great action comedy, a great spoof film, and I hope that they do more. If you can, go watch it in theaters or like watch it when it's released on Paramount Plus eventually. Liam Neeson, he is great. He is hilarious in this film, and I do think that he is like a good choice to carry on the role of Frank Drebin, even if it's Frank Drebin Jr. And with that, thank you for watching, and
thank you for joining us on this journey into fantasy.